and my father found me outside. He looked uncomfortable. "Your mother wants to talk to you." I nodded. We stepped into a quiet hallway. My mother closed the door behind us. She folded her arms. "Your sister has been struggling financially." I stared at her. "What does that have to do with me?" She hesitated. "We thought you might be able to help." There it was. After 12 years, she still saw me as the daughter who was supposed to solve everyone else's problems. I asked quietly, "Do you even know what I do now?" She smiled. "You work in healthcare." I shook my head. That was where I started. She looked confused. I opened my phone and showed her a photograph from a recent business conference. The woman standing beside me was the CEO of a national healthcare company. My mother stared at the picture. "That's you?" "Yes. I am the director of operations for the company." Her expression changed. I continued. "I own my home. I have savings. I built a career, and I did all of it with the $355 I had when I walked out of your house." She looked away. Then she whispered, "I did not know." I nodded. That was the problem. For 12 years, my mother had never asked. Before she could respond, my sister walked into the hallway. She had overheard the last part. She looked at me, then at Mom, and quietly asked, "What did you do to her?" My sister stood in the hallway, staring at our mother. "What did you do to her?" Mom's face changed. For the first time, she could not hide behind excuses. She told Rachel what she had said 12 years earlier. She admitted that she had called me ugly, that she expected me to fail, and that she had believed I would eventually come back needing the family. My sister looked at me with tears in her eyes. "Emily, I am sorry." I shook my head. "You were not the one who said it." Mom stepped toward me. "I know I hurt you. I should have been proud of you that day. Instead, I made you feel ashamed." I looked at her for a long moment. "Do you know what I remember most about that night?" She shook her head. "Not the insult. The $355. She looked confused. I remember counting every dollar in that motel room and realizing that, for the first time, everything I had belonged to me. I was terrified, but I was also free. My mother started crying. I did not hug her, not yet. Forgiveness was not something I could give simply because she finally understood. But I could stop carrying the anger. I told her that. "I forgive you for what happened. But forgiveness does not mean I have to become the daughter you wanted me to be." She nodded through her tears. My sister hugged me before I left. She whispered, "I am proud of you." Those 4 words meant more than she could know. 12 years earlier, I had walked away believing I was the daughter nobody wanted. That night, I walked out knowing something completely different. I had never needed my mother to decide whether I was beautiful. I had needed to decide it for myself. A few weeks later, my mother sent me a photograph from my graduation. I had never seen it before. It showed me standing outside the university with my diploma. My mother had written one sentence on the back: "I wish I had seen you the way everyone else already did." I kept the photograph, not because it erased the past, because it reminded me how far I had come. The girl who left with $355 had not become successful because she wanted to prove her mother wrong. She became successful because she finally stopped waiting for permission to believe in herself. And sometimes, the most powerful way to answer someone who made you feel worthless is not to make them regret hurting you. It is to build a life so full that their opinion no longer has the power to define you. If this story touched you, tell me in the comments. Would you forgive a parent who deeply hurt you? or would you walk away for good? And if you enjoy original family betrayal stories with emotional justice, subscribe to Public Evidence. My father checked in occasionally. My sister sent birthday messages, but my mother remained silent. Until almost a year after graduation, I received a letter from home. I recognized her handwriting immediately. There were only 6 words on the envelope. "You need to come home." I opened it, and the first sentence made my stomach drop. "Your sister needs your help." I read the letter 3 times. Your sister needs your help. Not "we miss you." Not "how have you been." Not even "I am sorry." Just another request. I almost threw the letter away. Then my father called. He explained that my sister had lost her job and was struggling with debt. My mother believed I should come home and help because, in her words, I had always been better at handling money. I asked one question. "Why are you asking me?" There was a long silence. "Because you are doing well." I looked around my small apartment. I was doing better than I had been a year earlier, but I was not wealthy. I was working 2 jobs, paying my bills, and still saving every dollar I could. I told Dad I could not fix my sister's life. He sounded disappointed. "Your mother thinks family should help family." I almost laughed. The same mother who had told me I was ugly on the day I graduated now wanted me to rescue the daughter she had always praised. I said no. For the first time, I did not feel guilty. I went back to work. Over the next few years, my career changed quickly. The administrative job led to healthcare management. Healthcare management led to consulting. By my 5th year away from home, I was managing projects for several medical organizations. I finally had enough money to buy a small house. I bought one with a bright kitchen, a quiet office, and a spare bedroom. For the first time, I had a home that nobody could threaten to take away from me. I still spoke to my father occasionally. My sister contacted me less. My mother never apologized. Then, almost 6 years after graduation, she called me herself. Her voice sounded different. She asked how work was going. I told her it was going well. Then she asked whether I was still single. I knew immediately that this was not a casual conversation. "Why?" She hesitated. "Your sister is getting married." I congratulated her. Then Mom said, "We would really like you to come." I stared at the wall. "After everything?" She sighed. "That was a long time ago, Emily." I almost reminded her that she had never apologized. Instead, I asked when the wedding was. She told me. Then she said something that stayed with me. "Your sister has always admired what you have accomplished." I almost laughed. My sister had barely spoken to me in years, but I said nothing. I agreed to attend. Not because I needed their approval, because I wanted to see my family without the anger I had carried since graduation. By then, I had learned something important. Leaving home had not made me successful. Believing I deserved a better life had. Then, 2 days before the wedding, my father called. His voice was nervous. "Emily, there is something you should know." I sat down. "What?" He took a breath. "Your mother has been telling everyone that you are coming back because you need the family again." I was stunned. After 12 years, she still had no idea why I had left. Then Dad said the sentence that changed everything. "She does not know what you actually built." I almost canceled the wedding, not because I was angry, because I suddenly understood that my mother had spent 12 years telling herself a story about me. In her version, I had walked away because I was stubborn. I had struggled. Eventually, I would come back needing my family. She had never considered that I might have built a life without them. I arrived at the wedding venue Saturday afternoon. My sister was standing near the entrance in her wedding dress. When she saw me, her eyes widened. "Emily!" She hugged me tightly. "I am really glad you came." I smiled. So am I. Then my mother appeared. She looked me up and down. For a second, I saw the same expression I had seen 12 years earlier. Then she smiled. You look different. I almost laughed. Different was one way to describe it. I was wearing a simple navy dress, nothing extravagant, but I carried myself differently. I was no longer waiting for someone to tell me I was enough. My mother leaned closer. I knew you would come back eventually. I looked at her. Back? She smiled. You know what I mean. I did, but I did not correct her. Not yet. The reception began. My sister's husband gave a speech about how lucky he was to marry into such a wonderful family. I looked across the room at my mother. She was smiling proudly. For years, I had wondered what it would feel like to stand in that room without feeling like the least important person there. Now I knew it felt peaceful. Later that evening, my father, if not once, my father